The question is very simple. I don't want to complicate it. The last thing anyone should do in a country like ours is to increase the price of medicines. B, point number 2, and I'm just making a disclosure on my own position on this tonight. I feel the patient should not have to pay for a fight between foreign drug manufacturers and Indian drug manufacturers. Point number 3, it is not the job of the government of India to provide incentives for domestic drug manufacturers. If they wanted to do that, then there were companies in India like HDIL producing drugs which were made part of the disinvestment program. If it is not the job of the government out there, therefore in any case to be running hotels, there is no reason for the government to get in and help people manufacturing this drug or that drug in India. This is absolutely unacceptable. But the basic point tonight is this, and I welcome Kiran Mazumdar Shaw, CMD of Biocon, B S Ajay Kumar, Chairman and CEO of the HCG Group of Industries, Rupal Panchal of the Haemophilia Society, Rahul Yadav, founder of Yoddhas, which is an NGO for cancer patients, Kewal Handa, former MD of Pfizer, Sameer Kaul, cancer specialist, and Dr Sambit Patra of the BJP. So we are a very well-informed panel and we have the time. My own basic point is this, and I start with Kiran Mazumdar Shaw to get the ball rolling, and then it's an open debate. Why should anyone, rich, poor, middle class, be asked to pay more for medicines? Where is the logic in a country like India? Kiran Mazumdar Shaw can open the debate. She's against the lifting of exemptions, and you can open the debate and then we'll take it forward. Kiran Mazumdar Shaw.
So, my point is, Arnab, that we are in a country where the financial burden of paying for drugs is enormous on patients. And we are a country where 80% of out-of-pocket expenses are borne by patients. The government does not reimburse drugs. And the kind of drugs for which these exemptions have been withdrawn are very expensive drugs, those used for cancer, those used for other life-threatening diseases. And my view is, such drugs should not be burdened or levied with any duties, period. In fact, I would go so far as to say that even in hospitals, we should exempt a lot of treatments from taxes, because I think patients need to access affordable health care. And to me, this particular move, I don't think has been thought through.
Yeah.
Even if there was an intention to help the Indian pharmaceutical industry, actually this well-intentioned move is actually not actually achieving these objectives for the following reasons. One, any drug made in SEZs is going to be akin to an imported drug. And a lot of these expensive drugs are made in SEZs. So the costs of these very expensive drugs are going to increase by as much as 25 to 30%.
My God.
Even drugs made in DTA regions are going to attract excise, which is going to be at least 10% extra. So I don't think people have understood what this means. So even if you believe that this was supposed to help Indian industry, I don't think it is going to achieve any objective of affordable health care, and the only people who are going to be burdened with extra finance is patients. Yeah. And as someone who is very compassionate about patients in this country, I don't think this is a good move. As Chief Minister 2 years, 10 months and 19 days ago, Mr. Modi met children suffering from haemophilia. Yes. Haemophilia affects poor people more, right? And I saw your hand go up there, but don't give us a complicated argument, Sambit Patra, to what is a very simple question. Simple question, and here is before me Rupal Panchal, founder of the Haemophilia Society of India, and he has a question for you. Go ahead please. Rupal Panchal.
The question is, where is the supplier in India? So you have a requirement of 400 million units for 16,000 patients in India. We hardly manufacture 3% of this factor concentrate in India. Rest we have to import. Now, when there is no such companies available, in the blood-based product. The blood-based product cannot be scaled up. Let's understand that thing. Second, there is no recombinant
So
product.
how will, in simple language, how will the consumer get affected?
So
There are 100,000 people suffering from hemophilia in India. 80% of these people are from the lower income groups. How will these people be affected?
They will die, or they will develop progressively. They will become handicapped, and they will have to stay on bed forever in their life.
How insensitive in this, and there are 132,000 cases of cervical cancer annually. Ifosfamide, which is used to treat cervical cancer, is on that list. You make that drug more expensive. What is the impact going to be on those suffering from cervical cancer in our country?
And I am surprised that Mr. Modi, when he was the Chief Minister of Gujarat, he has actually asked, he has given hemophilics factor concentrate, not only blood-based, but he said that I will give you recombinant factor. In Gujarat, people are taking recombinant factor thanks to the ex-Chief Minister.
It's a simple point tonight is this, and I want those fighting for the patients to be allowed to speak first. So I want Rahul Yadav, who is the founder of Yoddhas, which is an NGO fighting for cancer patients, to speak as well.
No, but these are not founded on truth.
They may or may not be. That's your interpretation, sir, Sambit Patra. It's your interpretation.
There are
No, one second. Hear from them tonight. I give you one example. I'll give you one fact. Sambit, hear from the patient. Sambit,
where is the supplier for
Sambit, listen. Watch it. Just one minute. Please understand, Sambit. Let us hear from those who are going to suffer. So you hear them and then respond. I am saying today there are 34,000 new patients of gastric cancer in this country every year. Now, mitomycin, which is believed to be an anti-gastric cancer drug, is on this list.
So its price is not going to increase. The mitomycin's price is not going to be affected. Ifosfamide's prices are not going to be affected. So why sit over here and false
No, one second. Hand goes up there. Sameer Kaul comes in. Kiran Mazumdar Shaw also wants to come in. If you're going to say so simply that no drugs are going to...
I have not kept the facts, or not.
One second. Just a minute. No, one second.
Spread lies in the channel.
Mr. Sambit Patra, do not use such strong language so easily. The fact of the matter is this, and I will share... One second. Sambit, there are 307... There are 307... Sambit, listen, this is not a standard political debate. The fact of the matter is this, that life-saving drugs are going to be made costly to the ailing patient who is battling for his life.
How many drugs have been exempted?
30 drugs. Okay, 30 drugs. Sambit, if you asked a question...
Answer this.
Sambit, okay, Sameer Kaul.
How many drugs have been exempted?
Sameer Kaul. Okay, 1 second. Ajay Kumar is intervening. Sorry, Ajay Kumar of the HCG group of industries. Ajay Kumar will respond. Ajay Kumar. Dr. B S Ajay Kumar will respond.
Treating doctor. I just as a treating doctor and running multiple centers, I can see that this affects the patients, particularly the poorer section, a lot. And we as doctors face this every day, where we have to make a choice depending on the economic status of the patient. This is going to worsen the situation. So morally, it will be very difficult for us to, every day we counsel the patients. We are not only doctors, we are also counselors, economic counselors. So for whatever reason this has been done, maybe good intention, but is definitely misguided.
Sir, you
it is going to particularly affect large section of our cancer patients.
With compassion for patients. Let me inform you the truth, sir.
I have a list here in my hand showing. I have a list here in my hand showing how it is going to increase.
No,
because of the custom by nearly 20 to 30% increase.
Let me first inform you. One by one, I'll inform you everything, sir. I have the complete research in front of me, all the lists. And
what about the cost for trastuzumab?
No, please, I request. Since it's a very serious issue.
May I come in?
Can I just come in here?
No. Sorry, Sambit. Listen. If we are going on fact, then everyone should be allowed to present their fact. And I would request you, Sambit. I would request you to restrain the use of the language falsehood and lies out here. We are discussing an issue. There are very senior professionals from the industry. There are some very respected, sir. Sambit, you may be a very good spokesperson for the BJP, and I'm pretty sure that you have also been a very good doctor. But Kiran Mazumdar Shaw of Biocon and Dr. B S Ajay Kumar of the HCG group of companies are not greenhorns. So when they are saying something to you that their concern is it will affect the patients, please listen to them. Don't call everyone who doesn't agree with you a liar, for God's sake. One second.
No. I'm not calling anyone a liar. I just want to
one at a time. One at a time. Ajay Kumar.
I want to know.
Yeah.
I want to know what is the revenue you are going to generate by charging these patients more. Do we have a calculation? What is the revenue? Is it really worth doing?
But we are not going to charge the patient more, sir. Who said that we are going to charge the patient more? Who said that?
No, this is I have a circular from customs duty in my hand.
No,
I have a circular.
Do you have a circular, sir? Do you have a circular which says that prices will increase? Do you have a circular which says that prices will increase?
Yes, I have a circular.
Let's not spread panic. No.
I have a circular saying that there is a list 3. There is a list
Sambit, please. He's saying something.
The circular says.
Yeah, go on.
Arnab, the circular.
Can I just?
No, yes. One second. Kiran Shaw and Sameer Kaul. I'm going to come to you. I just want him to read out from the circular that he has. I'm coming to you, sir. Mr. Handa, I'm coming to you. Yeah.
No, Arnab, you have to please allow.
I will. Please let them also say. Read it.
See, here it says under in the exercise of the powers confirmed by Custom Act so and so and so, they say there are this list which includes list 3 and list 4 whereby the customs duty has been changed. Now look at it. It does not say exactly what percentage, but there has been a change for these drugs.
Okay, now here's one point. I want to go to Kiran. One sec. Kiran Mazumdar Shaw, before I come to you, Kewal Handa and Sameer Kaul wanted to make a point. Kiran Shaw, I'm coming to you because they have not spoken yet. Simple point is this: there are imported life-saving drugs, including Abciximab, anti-rabies immunoglobulin, procarbazine, and saquinavir, for which custom duty goes from 0 to 35%. It's a fact.
Not at all, Arnab.
Now listen. When this is going to be passed on to the customer. Kewal Handa, come sit. Kewal Handa and Sameer Kaul. Kewal Handa.
This notification has two things: almost about 60 bulk drugs and about 15 formulations. What we are really discussing is on the formulation part of it, which are finished goods imported. And some of this is hemophilia and cancer drugs, which is going to go up from, let's say, 0% to 25%.
Yes.
That's true.
So will the drugs cost more?
So I'll coming back
to that. Will the drugs cost more?
Most of these drugs are orphan drugs or drugs provided by the government. It's up to the government. You would have to go beyond the custom duties. It is up to the government to make these drugs available at the same price which was made available.
That's an assumption that you are making.
So I'm coming to the bulk drugs now. I'm coming to the bulk drugs now, which is the major part of the notification. 60 bulk drugs. Most of these bulk drugs are being manufactured in India. Whereas the custom duties gave them a preference of almost 20.
You tell me one thing, sir. Mr. Kewal Handa, I just want to understand. This country has a lot of problems to solve.
Correct.
Right? We have to solve the problem of the fact that we are growing at 7% and not at 9%. We have to solve the problem of a rising tide of communalism and caste-based sentiments on the other. We have to solve the problem that the bureaucracy of this country has still not worked up fast enough. We have to solve the problem that the procedures for allowing industry have not become quicker. I want to know whose problem are we solving by increasing the prices of some drugs. Are these some domestic drug manufacturing lobbies? Are there domestic drug manufacturing lobbies which are supporting this? And why should it be my business or your business or anyone's interest to promote or support any business interest? Who is gaining?
So in case of bulk drugs, Arnab,
who is gaining?
In case of bulk drug, remember when the Chinese bulk drugs were sold in India at a cheap price, the Indian bulk drug industry went down. Today, they are getting a preference of 26%.
That's my point. No, but that's my point.
That's a level playing.
Kewal Handa, now you understand hemophilia is a high dosage disease. Per unit cost is pretty high. Let me tell you the maths of it. If someone goes through 2 infusions at a time, he has to shell out almost 1 lakh rupees. How many people in India can afford that?
No one can afford
that. But now what happens to the person who can't afford it? What will happen to the person? Be allowed to die because you can't afford it?
That's aberration.
That's what you are saying. You are saying it's a collateral damage.
Hemophilia should have not been done. That's an aberration.
These are wrong things.
That's an aberration.
Why don't you want the government to speak up?
1 second, I want Sameer Kaul to come in, and after that I'll come to you, Sambit Patra. Sameer Kaul.
Arnab, let me start with you. You are just too reactionary and barking up the wrong tree this evening. You have to ensure a level playing field. And it's about short-term measures and short-term results and about long-term goals. For once, the government seems to be doing the right thing. But I do agree they need to do many other things. And it's too little too late. Most of the drugs, as far as cancer is concerned, it's about adriamycin, it's about cisplatinum, it's about mitomycin C, it's about drugs which are available. They are yesteryear's drugs now.
First of all, Sameer Kaul, I will let Rahul Yadav speak. 1 second, Sameer Kaul, have some empathy tonight. 1 minute, Sambit, Rahul Yadav fights for cancer patients. He will tell you why. He will tell you why. This tactic will not work, Sambit. This tactic will not work. I want the cancer patients also to speak up tonight. Rahul Yadav fights for cancer patients. You say to me tonight. You say to me. Calm down. I'm inviting Rahul Yadav to tell you tonight. Rahul Yadav, please say tonight. First of all, Sameer Kaul, you say you are barking up the wrong tree, and you are saying you speak a language. You speak a language. Sameer Kaul, you speak a language that... For 1 second, please, Sameer Kaul. Let Rahul Yadav speak, for God's sake. Let him speak, and then Kiran Rao will come in with Sambit Patra. 1 second. Rahul Yadav.
Face this dilemma every
Rahul Yadav.
I also want my patients
Rahul Yadav.
But it's about poverty in the
Rahul Yadav, please. Rahul Yadav.
Access to health.
Rahul Yadav.
There are many other...
I want Rahul Yadav to speak.
Health insurance, below poverty. Yeah, of course, go ahead. But the fact still remains that if the government does one right thing...
Okay, now you know what? You know what? If you're not going to stop when I request you to, then I will really have to tell you that I have to shut your volume down. Please hear me on this one, please. The fact of the matter is this, that you have said short-term measures for long-term gains. I don't believe that you can say in the short term, if a few poor people die in the short term, because we are doing something good in the long term, and if those poor people are collateral damage in the short term because they can't afford the medicines, that's not an argument that is based on either ethics or reality. And Rahul Yadav, please, and then I'm coming to Kiran Shaw and Sambit Patra. Rahul Yadav. Rahul Yadav, speak up, please. Rahul Yadav, please.
Give me a minute. This is an unfair debate.
The intent might be correct, but the problem is...
the government's voice to be heard.
Rahul Yadav.
I don't understand what is the compulsion why you don't want the government...
Rahul Yadav, 1 second, please, Sambit. Please stop. Rahul Yadav is speaking, Sambit. Has Rahul Yadav spoken even once? Has Rahul Yadav spoken even once? And you are constantly complaining that you have spoken 3 times in the debate. And I want to know from you, what is your compulsion that you don't want somebody who's fighting for cancer patients to speak? Please speak, Rahul Yadav.
Dr. Arnab,
please speak, Rahul Yadav.
I want to assuage...
You're not the only doctor on the panel. Rahul Yadav.
No.
Rahul, please speak up.
Falsities are being propagated over here.
That's your view. Rahul Yadav.
I may not be a doctor.
I want to keep my view. I'm entitled to my view, Mr. Goswami.
Fine, keep your view to yourself, sir. Rahul Yadav.
Sir.
Speaking all falsities over here and you're telling me that I should keep my views to myself.
I have myself been fighting blood cancer for last 2.5 years. So I understand the pain, and the most toughest part for a cancer patient is, apart from the trauma of the disease, the chemotherapy, the treatment, the mental trauma, the biggest tragedy is the financial support or lack of support. And then on top of that, I understand it may be good for the Indian manufacturer, but maybe the steps could have been smaller and slower, rather than just increasing the prices by 22% in one go. Right? Now that does not help a cancer patient.
Let me correct, the prices are going only by 10 to 15%, not 22%. That's a wrong
assumption. I've been doing it for 2.5 years.
That's fine, sir.
No, see, I may not know specific drugs, but then the overall cost is increasing, which should not happen, right?
Rahul Yadav only, please. Nobody else's audio, please. Now, yeah. Rahul, can you allow Rahul Yadav to complete his point? He's suffering from cancer and he's making a point and you keep interrupting. Please, Sambit, please hear him out. Thank you, Rahul. Please continue, Rahul.
Thank you. So the major challenge, talk to any cancer patient in India, the major challenge is, first, अगर कैंसर नहीं मारेगा तो कैंसर का ट्रीटमेंट मार देगा. द कॉस्ट ऑफ ट्रीटमेंट, it is so high. You know, we don't have enough beds, we don't have enough support system, there are not enough doctors in India to treat patients, and on top of that we come up with such regimes where the prices might increase, which is not fair. I feel it can be eased in, it may be a good intent of overall improving the Indian manufacturers, but not at the cost of a patient who might not immediately go in for a.
Rahul, there's some of the drugs.
Yeah. Okay, go on.
See, some of the drugs.
I'll tell you as to why the prices will not rise.
Some of the drugs like adrimycin is an old drug. Streptokinase is an old drug, which are Indian manufacturers are manufacturing it. No prices will change.
As to why the prices
I now want to settle this issue by getting Kiran to debate with Sambit Patra on this whole issue. Now, Kiran Mazumdar Shaw and Sambit Patra, and I hope both of you hear each other out. And the fact of the matter is, Sambit, too much protest does not work. Kiran Mazumdar Shaw has a point of view. Others have a point of view. The patients have a point of view.
Really?
The fact is this, please. I'm setting the ball rolling. I'm setting the ball rolling by saying this. The people suffering from hemophilia, for example, Kiran Mazumdar Shaw, have nowhere to turn because they have a genetic disorder. It costs them at least 50,000 rupees a year. It may cost them as much as 10 lakh annually. Should the government roll back the exemption on custom duty for these drugs? How many people in India with our per capita income, Kiran Mazumdar Shaw, will be able to afford 10 lakh rupees annually? Otherwise, you'll say, let these people, are you saying let these people die? It's a good long-term measure. So, Kiran Shaw, since Sambit Patra says prices will not increase, can you please counter that argument? Because I believe the logical point is...
I have not even spoken.
Now, first she will tell you her point of view on whether prices will increase, and then you can give your response to that.
Let me keep my views.
Yes.
Kiran, madam, I want...
Kiran Mazumdar Shaw and Sambit Patra.
You can ask me questions as well.
No, let them debate.
Request.
Let them debate.
Madam, this is my sincere request.
Shambit, can I just answer it? Shambit, I'll just say something and then you please be free to comment, okay?
Yes.
Just hear me out for 2 minutes.
Please.
So, Shambit, I fully respect the fact that you're a doctor. And I'm sure you agree with me that we should not actually tax any life-saving drug in this country on principle.
Yes.
Okay, that is my view. Okay.
Yes.
Secondly, as a manufacturer of drugs, I have done a very extensive exercise on this present notification, which is applicable to 76 drugs. I have actually done a complete matrix of what the cost implications are, whether the product is produced in an SEZ, whether the product is produced in a DTA. I will share the entire data with you, and I can tell you that the cost of drugs is going, at least for the manufacturer, is going to increase between 10 to 30%, okay, depending on what the drug is and where it is made. Now, I am saying to you, when there is an increase in cost of goods, whether it is bulk drugs or the finished product, what do you think industries do? They will just pass it on to the end user, which is unfortunately the poor patient. Now, you can argue and say that, oh, there is also going to be price control on top of that, but it doesn't work that way.
No, let me now.
So I just want you to understand that on principle, my view is that you should not tax drugs and life-saving drugs and drugs that are used for life-threatening diseases.
Yeah.
That is my view, that you should. The government should not be taxing such drugs.
Yes, Sambit.
Yes. Now, Kiran, I have heard you, I respect you, and I agree with you. And I'll keep certain facts for the people of this country for their consumption. We are discussing a fact that certain prices of certain life-saving drugs will rise or skyrocket. Let me tell you, no. We are creating a panicky situation. It's not going to rise. I'm going to show how. Number of drugs concerned over here is 76. I asked this question as to how many drugs we are talking about. The exemption has been removed from 76
yes.
drugs. And let me tell you, 28 of these drugs are the only drugs which were imported last year. That means 48 drugs have nothing to do. So at the end of the day, we are discussing about 28 drugs. Now let me give you the example of cancer.
But even that will raise by 10%.
Kiran, please. Kiran, I was not interjecting. Please allow me to complete. Let me. As far as cancer is concerned, Arnab, approximately there are 140 anti-cancer drugs in the country, or let's say in the world. Out of these 150 odd drugs of anti-cancer, approximately 22 drugs fall within the bracket of discussion today. That means the exemption has been removed from 22 drugs. Of these 22 drugs, 14 drugs are under the National List of Emergency Medicine, that is NLEP, and according to the rule of 2013, the prices are capped on this.
Sambit,
just a second. Prices are capped, so prices cannot rise. Prices cannot rise.
Sambit, I think you are on a self-defeating course in terms of your argument, but I will let B S Ajay Kumar respond to you. Sambit, listen. Sambit, listen. I understood your basic argument is divided into 3 parts. Your argument is divided into 3 parts, and now Sambit, have a patience to hear me. Your first argument is argument in response to Sambit Patra. 1 second, Sambit Baba, please stop.
I will give you.
Sambit,
I have a list as to how much the price will
increase. Everybody has that list. There's nothing. Everybody has it. Everybody has it. You are not holding up some copyrighted act.
Let me speak.
Sambit Patra, listen. Sambit, listen here now. Please don't be impatient. Don't be impatient. 2 hands go up there, and I want B S Ajay Kumar to respond to you. B S Ajay Kumar. B S Ajay Kumar. B S Ajay Kumar, please respond to Sambit Patra. I'll come in later. B S Ajay Kumar. B S Ajay Kumar, please. B S Ajay Kumar of the HCG Group of Industries. B S Ajay Kumar, go on, otherwise Sambit will not let you speak.
No, I want to say that what Kiran made a very valid argument, that just taxing the industry is eventually going to come to the patients definitely.
I want to know
the false assumption that you can take away the customs duty and still the cost will remain the same is wrong. I do not think that there will be a squeeze on the margin, and we are as doctors, we are the ones who are going to see. Every day treating cancer patients, we understand what is the cancer patient facing. Not only cancer but economic burden, and this is definitely going to increase the burden of the patient.
Drugs are always the rationale. One second. Kewal Handa.
Email of Mr. Abdul
I do not understand the rationale why tax has been.
What is there nothing else to do in this country?
He said that this is not going to.
One second, Sambit. The problem with you right now is Sambit. I'll explain one thing to you. Please understand. Kewal Handa will respond to you.
Now I will tell you.
Sambit, please.
Even in the medical
Sambit, you may be a good doctor. You may be a good doctor, but you haven't got your economics right.
But you have to be a daily
Sambit,
understand.
Okay, one second. By the way, can I have no interruption from Sambit Patra moment? It will be a rare moment. Sambit, don't interrupt me. 30 seconds, no interruption from you moment. Okay, you have won the round of interruptions, but now I'm making a point here tonight. I'm making one simple point here today.
When the prices are
Sambit Patra. Suppose you buy a rasgulla for 10 rupees and the cost of manufacturing the rasgulla is 8 rupees. You increase the cost of manufacturing the rasgulla for 12 rupees and then come and say, where have we said that the price of the rasgulla will go up? I mean, this is the most ridiculous argument I've ever heard. Yeah. And by the way, if you want to argue on individual cases, Sambit Patra, if you want to argue on individual cases, then hear me. Bulk drugs are used to treat used to treat Parkinson's disease. Bulk drugs used to treat Parkinson's disease. Bulk drugs used to treat Parkinson's disease, which is believed to affect crores of aging Indians and is believed to affect 1/6. I give up here. I'll take take a break. I give up, I take a break.
I challenge anyone to ask me.
I'll give up here, I take a break. I'll take a break on the other side. I'm asking a question, Kewal Handa.
I just want to add one thing. This will only increase the mortality, morbidity rate for cancer patients.
Okay, 1 second. I'll make one point, I take a break and come back on debate. Viewers, I'm putting this question to you because Sambit is determined not to let me speak. The point I'm making tonight is this. Bulk drugs used to treat Parkinson's disease, which is believed to affect crores of aging Indians, which will affect 160 crore of us by 2050, are said to be taxed at an additional 5%. I want to know why would any government, I want to know a simple question. I want to know why would any government want to roll back a tax which is crucial to the lives of our ailing, aged population?
Can you give me an example how anti-hemophilic factor price will not increase?
Yeah, okay.
And give me a certificate on this,
price is going to increase
on the television that it's not going to increase. Please give me a certificate saying that it will not increase. One is you don't have supplies in India.
I will give you a certificate.
I am asking for anti-hemophilic factor. Let me speak. I am a patient with hemophilia. Please let me speak. I am telling you, I am a patient with hemophilia. Please let me speak.
Be responsible in not spreading
Please let me speak.
Panic, sir.
This is not a way to
spread panic and rumors.
These are not rumors. Factor 8 and Factor 9 you have taken out of the custom duty. It is going to increase by 25%. In Maharashtra for 7 months there is no factor available.
Because it is covered.
In Maharashtra there is no factor available in 7 months. The moment you increase these prices, what is going to happen is the supply, the amount of units available to patient is going to come down.
And the prices will go up.
Prices will go up. Mr. Modi, when he was the chief minister, he has given an undertaking to hemophilics in Gujarat that he will supply free medicine. What has happened to that? When he has become a prime minister, has he forgotten what he has done in Rajkot?
I have the list.
Please give me who are the suppliers in India.
Okay, here's a question. Sambit, I have one question for you. I have one question for you, Sambit. अरे भाई question तो ले लीजिए, आप सुन तो लीजिए, मेरा सवाल को सुन लीजिए. Please tell me. Sambit, we are talking about hemophilia. Now I'm telling you a question. No rhetoric on this debate. Who is the local manufacturer for the drug for hemophilia?
No, I am asking how much percentage do they supply? That's the question. How much percentage do they supply? Out of the 100 million units which has come into India, 90% was supplied by foreign countries, 5% from recombinant and 5% from local manufacturing. You cannot increase the supply of
Kewal Handa is responding. Kewal Handa.
Please, Kewal.
These are orphan drugs. Samit, can I respond? These are orphan drugs. Indian manufacturers don't take up orphan drugs. If Kiran is talking about drugs being available, it's for her to also understand these drugs are never taken by Indian manufacturers.
There is no recombinant being manufactured.
No, can I come back? As far as the hemophilia is concerned, Reliance is there, Intas is already there. It's not that they are not.
It's not our job to help any Indian manufacturer.
It's not our job to help. But this type of orphan drugs is a job of the government.
We take a break.
It's a part of the government to ensure that availability is done. It's government job to make it available to you.
But the thing is, when you can only supply 3% of these drugs and you don't have a supply of 95%, are you letting people going to die? Because the Prime Minister is aware of this fact.
Here's a question.
You have included hemophilia.
No. Here is a question that I am asking, and many people who are hemophiliacs have asked us to ask this question. That there are people who will simply not be able to afford the drugs if this comes into place. Are we saying that till our domestic industry builds up the capacity and builds up capacity and gives in writing that it will make that drug be available at an affordable cost, in that gap, should people be allowed to die?
Or become handicapped completely?
That's a simple question. I'm coming back to the debate in a few minutes. Coming back to the debate in a few minutes. Just a few minutes. Short break.
So
we have limited time. We're about 5 to 10 minutes right now. So my first point is this. There are at least 30 of the 76 drugs which are seeing a withdrawal of the customs duty exemptions are part of the country's national list of essential medicines. If a particular drug has been recognized as an essential medicine, then please tell me, which tree are you barking up, Dr. Sameer Kaul, when you say that the government can make that commodity more expensive? You have a national list of essential medicines, right? You have a lack of availability of some of those medicines in a domestic form. and you are increasing the prices. So tell me, Sameer Kaul, where does this make sense?
Mr. Goswami, you have to get the...
I will. I'm just taking it round. I will come to you, Sambit. Sameer Kaul.
Because there would be a cap on the medicines price. So since there is a cap on the medicine pricing, the prices cannot go up. You can ask Mr. Kiran Mazumdar also.
It's a very simple thing. The people will not supply it and they cannot manufacture it. I am going to ask Sheila Mazumdar.
No, I will tell you what is happening. I will tell you.
Factor 8
I will
or
tell
9
you what's
in the
happening.
country.
It is a war, generic versus brand.
Disorder.
It is a war, generic versus brand.
People who are suffering from it. So there is no medicine available over here. Answer my question. Why is that after so many years, factor 8 and 9 is not available in India?
With all my humility at my disposal, I believe your aim and my aim is not to fight, but to
please answer my question. Why is Biocon not manufacturing factor 8 and factor 9?
Let Kiran Mazumdar Shaw respond. Let Kiran Mazumdar Shaw respond to that. No, the question is to Kiran Mazumdar Shaw. The point being made here by Rupal Panchal. No, Rupal Panchal is making a point. Kiran Shaw, you know what? I'll come to you. Kiran Shaw. Rupal Panchal is making the point that he says.
Is it not true? Kiran Joy, is it not true that trastuzumab, one of the
most important factor 8 and factor 9, please don't deviate. Kindly answer my question.
You are manufacturing trastuzumab, and in this trastuzumab, initially in India in 2005, the cost when it came as a brand from the foreign country, the price was 1,80,000 for a formulation, for a vial. Now, thank God that you took up the issue in this country. After the domestic manufacture by your company, now the price is 32,600 rupees. Because of your trial in this country, the prices came down.
What does that have to do with what will happen to hemophilia X?
A better pill.
Please answer on hemophilia.
No, please answer on hemophilia.
Answer on factor 8.
Emergency list.
Please answer on hemophilia.
I'll answer that. Take my answer. Take my answer in hemophilia.
Where is the person who is going to manufacture
recombinant in hemophilia? I can assure the hemophilics in this program. If you want the truth, if you want the patients to be assured.
No, I think he's asking you a very relevant question.
From the government side. With folded hands, I'm speaking to the patients today. Please don't misguide my patients.
Watch it. Kewal Handa.
Not a single penny will increase. Not a single penny will increase because the factor 8 and factor 7, both of them are in the list of emergency medicine.
But they will not supply you now.
Medicines are increased, the price has to be absorbed by the industry.
One second. Okay, Sambit. Now Kewal Handa. Go ahead, Kewal Handa.
Industry will have to be at the front. The industry is annoyed.
1 second, Sambit. Now Kewal Handa, please. Okay, 1 second. You've spoken enough. Now let Kewal Handa speak. The point of the fact of the matter is there are at least 10 HIV drugs, at least 4 cancer drugs, apart from drugs to treat hemophilia, which have no indigenous equivalent. And when there is no indigenous equivalent, it is bound to financially burden the Aam Aadmi suffering from these life-threatening diseases. And I do not think that can be collateral damage which is acceptable.
I can give you 10 examples.
Okay, Kewal Handa, then Kiran Mazumdar Shaw.
Sambit, let's accept one fact. That by a single notification,
what you said
brought... Kiran, can I complete?
1 minute.
Kiran, can I complete? Kiran, can I complete?
Just one second, Kewal, just 1 minute, 1 minute. No, can I just finish one point after this?
Can I complete?
Sambit Patra gave you a very graphic detail of what happened to trastuzumab. He's absolutely right. But what I'm trying to say is, because I make this product in an SEZ, I will have to pay customs duty to bring it into DTA, and the price of this product, which he mentioned was around 32,600, will jump to 50,000 rupees. This is what I mean by the patient having to pay an extra price.
Sambit, can I respond to you now? You see, what we have done by the single notification... Can I please listen to me? What we have done by single notification, we have corrected majority of the issues with the bulk drug. For example, Glivec was having 0% duty. Nobody on the earth, sensible man, will think to have Glivec at 0% duty. That we have corrected. But what we have missed out and what we have not been sensitive about is the orphan drugs which get imported in this country on a humanitarian ground at a low price, whereby we have increased the duty of the finished goods, from 0% to say 25 or 35%. That's where the challenge is.
I now want to, there's no point. Confrontation is not the issue on this one. No, 1 second, please. Rahul Yadav, what I'm saying on behalf of Rahul Yadav, Rupal Panchal, and all those people who are suffering today, I think one needs to revisit this notification. That's all. You need to say we may be correct in some ways, we may be wrong in some others. There may be some drugs out here which if we just take off the customs duty will have an immediate negative impact on hundreds of thousands of Indians. As a compassionate government, we can't allow that. So don't take a hard and fast position on this. Rahul Yadav.
One small point.
Rahul Yadav. Yeah, Rahul.
One small point. See, the basic thing is, even if it increases the price and the imported drugs, but are we improving the quality? Because irrespective if a lower priced drug is available in India, people will still end up buying a more expensive drug. Because the mindset says that is a better drug.
No, but Rahul,
who can still afford
Rahul, there's one point which I need to make to both you and one second. Sambit, listen here, please. Don't take a confrontationist position. I'm saying here, Rahul and Rupal, I would only say...
I have the list of drugs that the Tata Memorial uses. Most of these drugs are Indian-made drugs, including Kiran Mazumdar is sitting over here. Biocon drugs are used across the country. Are they inferior drugs, Kiran? Are they inferior drugs?
It's not about Swadeshi. It's not the argument. The argument is not the Swadeshi argument, sir. Sambit Patra. Listen, cancer, the cost of treating cancer has escalated. If you're asking Kiran Mazumdar Shaw, then also ask Kiran Mazumdar Shaw, who, by the way, Kiran, Sambit, listen here. Sambit, listen here, Sambit, listen. Don't think everybody else doesn't know. Kiran Mazumdar Shaw is one of the founders of a fantastic center for oncological research in Bangalore. Now the point is this. That's not the point. The point is this. Have a discussion. Say we sit down, we revisit this, let us get stakeholders together.
Don't allow me, how would I?
No, have a discussion with the government. Don't be hard and fast on it. Revisit the notification.
Yeah, Mr. Goswami, it's not that I've come with these papers manufactured at my home. I've only discussed with
everyone. There is a responsibility on the government to ensure that the orphan drugs are available. I think you need to revisit this.
Revisit it.
All custom duties also.
All we are saying is revisit it. I hope the government revisits it. I'm short of time, but I'd say revisit it. Do not allow even a single Indian to suffer just because he cannot afford the new price of any drug. Not a single Indian.
You have our word. You have our word from.
Not a single Indian. Not a single drug. And for that, revisit the notification.
Come up with Amrit scheme. This government
revisit the notification.
Scheme. Not a
revisit the notification. Don't force everybody to swallow this bitter pill. I thank you all for joining me on debate number 2 on the Newshour tonight. Thank you very much.